I'm sorry to say, on this video, I've had to do a talk over on because my mic, it was a little bit distorted when I played it back. So I hope you'll bear with me on this. We travelled over to Liverpool today to have a look at this church, St Anthony's of Egypt on Scotland Road. It's got a bit of a dark past to it, to be honest. And there's a crypt underneath, which we're going to want and hope to visit and have a good look at. So I'll let you watch the video and see how it goes.
Good morning. I'm Bethan. We've just come over to Liverpool. It's a lovely morning, really sunny, very cold. But we've come over to have a look at this church, which it's just on the other side of the tunnel, basically, just as you come outside the tunnel. So it's very close to us. So it's called St Anthony's, isn't it, of Egypt. And it's got a very interesting crypt underneath it. So we just come to see if we can have a little look. There's a few interesting things about this church. So it was built in 1833, and it was originally down the road we've just come out of. Oh no, I think it's the one further down.
This church was founded by the Reverend Jean-Baptiste Antoinette Girardot, an emery from the French Revolution of 1789. To the front, the gates were locked, so luckily there was a number on the side, so we were able to ring it, and a lady answered, and she asked us to go round the back.
Oh, we got over and it's closed, but I've rang the number, it's on the board, and the lady who's answered told us to come round the back, and I think she's going to let us in and let us have a look round, which is really good of her, so I'll let you know.
Around the back we got, and it was such a beautiful day. Well, when we got in there was such a lovely lady in there, agreed to let us go down to the crypt and into the nave and into the main church. But she asked us in the nave not to video, so we had to respect that. So I've just put just a little thing on there, didn't show too much, where you can actually see the arches of the nave. They're like egg shape. Well, you'll hear me talk about that later on in the video. As we walked into the nave, you can actually see the organ, the big organ at the back. Beautiful it looked too, but it's no longer in use. And it's a Peter Conrad pipe organ. It dates back to 1861. It's the oldest instrument by this firm still in existence, but unfortunately it's no longer used. Let us now move on out of the nave and into the entrance hall. As we go in there, you can just see the lights under the front doors, which are obviously shut. So we had a nice little look round here.
Oh, pray for the men and the women of Liverpool who in their cause for the Irish freedom took part in the Easter Rising in Dublin, 1916. Oh.
As Liverpool grew in size and experienced large-scale Irish immigration due to the famine over there, St Anthony's emerged as a principal Irish church in Liverpool. The crypt below the church provides a final resting place for 2,000 men, women and children who had fled Ireland due to the famine, only to die during the typhoid and cholera epidemics which swept through the parish in 1847. Now, as we walk back into the nave, you can see the vast size of it. This is designed to seat 1,700 people with an unobstructed view to the altar. There's not a single pillar in the nave, which is it's 180 feet long and about 75 feet wide. This appears to be a vast unsupported space, but it isn't, because this is where the crypt comes into it. Today, the building has the largest unsupported church ceiling in Great Britain because of the egg-shaped arches working together to brace the building and the roof above, which are in the crypt. The crypt has 670 burial vaults, which rich people could pay to be buried there. For just about a guinea, I think I read. And also that's where the 2,000 men, women and children are buried as well. Well, from here, me and Bethan are going to move on to town, where we're hopefully going to visit a very old little pub. It won an award. So we're going to go there, see if we can get something to eat. But I hope you like this little video about the church. It's very well worth a visit. If you get a chance to come to Liverpool, go up Scotland Road and have a look. It's a great little interest.
Oh, there you are. I'm going to shut the door. That was lovely, wasn't it? Hey. Well, that was nice, wasn't it? Hey, lady letting us in and letting us have a little look round ourselves. Right, we're going to go into town now. And there's a little pub I want to have a look at. Very, very old. So I want to have a look around there. And we'll hopefully, possibly get some lunch, get something to eat. So it's back to the car.
This building, which is next to the church, is the old Liverpool Savings Bank, which turned into the Trustees Savings Bank as today. Anyway, from here, we decided to go back home, or back, I should say, through the tunnel and park the car up by one of the stations, the Merseyrail stations, which it doesn't cost us any with our passes. So we were able to get back on the train, come back over to the city centre, and you've got no worrying about parking. So you can have a drink, you can get back on the train after you've done whatever you want to do and get home and cost you nothing. Right, we're back over in Liverpool and we've just walked up Bowl Street just next to Central Station, and the top of Bowl Street is the bombed out church, what we call it. It's St Luke's Church. It was damaged in the Blitz in 1941 and all that was left was the external masonry. It took over 60 years before anything was done with it. It was cleared and now it's been transformed into it's there for cultural events and it's reopened to the public now. Right, before we move on to the pub, just have a look at these poppies just outside the church. These were made, there was 1,000 poppy flowers made by the local school children using upcycling plastic bottles and attached to bamboo flower sticks. So it looks really good, doesn't it? Now these poppies are around a sculpture commemorating World War I Christmas truce. It was of two soldiers, a German soldier and a British soldier, shaking hands. They played a football match on Christmas Day in 1914 while the truce was on. Right, so let's move on. Me and Bethan cross the road, go over to Roscoe Street, which was just there by that red building, just that little alleyway there. Go there and get into the Roscoe Head pub.
Yeah, Roscoe Street. So here's the so it's definitely in this little street here. We're going to hopefully have something to eat in here. Here it is, the Roscoe Head. Pub of the Year, Roscoe Head, 2024. So let's go in and have a little look. Go on, open the door.
So we're in the pub, and Al's going to be stuffing his face with a pie and a pint. And I'll do a little video of inside. So this is can see you in the mirror eating your pie out. The floor is beautiful, all old tiles. There's a little poster on the wall here that's got the history of William Roscoe, who I presume this street and this pub has been named after. The beautiful tiles on the wall. And that's the bar. And through here we have A little snug.
Hang on a minute.
And in here as well. Beautiful old fireplace. Very nice. Right, I'm going to have my drink now. I've got a picture here of the Iron Man in Formby. And I don't know if you've watched the previous video, but Al and I were there. Crosby it was, sorry. And it was absolutely wild. We couldn't get out of the car, the wind was that bad. And the tide was in, so we couldn't see the Iron Man. That's another interesting place to go if you're ever up this way.
Bethan was just asking me about the bells behind that little bell on the wall there. Well, most pubs used to have them years ago because you'd press that near the barmaid or the barman would come up to you and ask you what you wanted to drink and bring it to your table. A lot of the pubs were like that, especially in Liverpool anyway. Tobruk, I remember them having them. And also over our side. Ring of Bells used to have them. The Primrose used to have them. The Queens had them in their little back room. So yeah, there was quite a few pubs that I remember had these bells. It was lovely. Just sit there, ring the bell, and they come running. Yeah, just the Bethan's just said, just a bit like she does now. She said. If you believe that, you believe anything. Right. Once we've been here, we're going to go for a nice little walk and have a little nose around the area. Not that we haven't done it already before. But I'll tell you what, this pub is a lovely little pub and so friendly. The barman is very, very friendly. So I recommend if you're at this area, up Lacey Street, to call in and have a look. It's not far from the Liverpool Philharmonic, Roscoe Street itself. It's called the Roscoe Hotel. We're just walking up Mount Pleasant now. There's Bethan way ahead and it's coming up to Rodney Street. You can see the Catholic Cathedral just above them roofs, them houses. Rodney Street, quite a famous street. We're just going to a little cafe along here which we visited before. It's in one of these, Bethan, I think. Sure, it's one of these. It is here, this is it. Now that one then's going to get a sandwich.
No, Bethan's found a book shop. I'll never get her out of there. That and charity shops she loves. So while she's having a little look at them before we go in a cafe, I'll just go back down to the crossroads because to the right, where I was just showing you minutes ago, was the Catholic Church. And just down there, as you can see, that's the Anglican Cathedral, right at the end of Rodney Street. This end, you can't see it because it's behind them bills, but just at the other end of the street is the Catholic Cathedral.
What's this cafe called, Bethan? Cuthbert's. We just called a little cafe called Cuthbert's. And we're going to have a homemade soup with bread. Soup's just come, that looks absolutely lovely. Is it as nice as what it looks? Yeah, it's is it? Oh, lovely, yeah. Bethan's give her bread, butter back off the bread, but not me.
So let's take a little stroll up Rodney Street. These lovely Georgian buildings. It's actually known as Harley Street in the north due to all the doctors and the physicians that actually live here and have their practices here. So it's also well known for George Gladstone, who was a Liberal politician who ended up Prime Minister of Great Britain. I can't remember the dates now, but this is where he was actually born in Rodney Street, Liverpool. This house, the big one on the left-hand side, 35 Rodney Street, was the first house to be erected on Rodney Street, on the site leased by William Roscoe. It was built in 1783, 1784 and is a listed building, Grade 2. Right, let's carry on up now Rodney Street, up towards Anglican Cathedral, and we can admire all the beautiful Georgian properties that are up here. Just on the left-hand side of here, just one of these houses on the left, my daughter went to modelling school here in the 80s. She passed out, but never actually done the modelling, but she enjoyed it anyway. The Anglican Cathedral was built from 1901 and wasn't completed till 1978. It's the longest cathedral in the world, and it's the 5th largest also. It was open before 1978, but it wasn't completed till 1978. Now, the Cathedral Cathedral, which is the other end of Rodney Street, right the far end, which I showed you the top of it before, that was started to be built in 1962 and was finished in 1967. So that was finished, completed before this Anglican Cathedral. But it's locally, it's known as Paddy's Wigwam, and that's due to the shape of it. The road that does connect the both cathedrals is actually Hope Street. I keep saying Rodney Street, but Rodney Street's there, and it is either end. But actually Hope Street, the Anglican Cathedral's one end of it, and the Catholic Cathedral is right at the other end of it, as this map I've put up demonstrates for you. As we were walking down Upper Duke Street, which them buildings you could see out when I was talking about the cathedrals and white buildings, we've now come to the bottom to George's Street and Berry Street. And to the left, as you go around that corner there, is the front of the cathedral. Oh, you can't see it. Just there where them buildings are, there used to be old terrace properties there, the same height as them, 3 or 4 storey high. And in the basements used to be the rag tray where they used to work. And my mother worked there in the 50s, and I used to come over on a regular basis to meet her from work. When I was little, somebody bring me, meet her from work, and then we'd go home. Well, as we move round here to head towards Berry Street, which takes us back to the Bomb Church, on the left here is the Chinese Arch, which is on Nelson Street. It's the Chinese Quarter, and it's called Chinatown. Right, so let's see what it says on here. Liverpool has one of the oldest and largest Chinese communities in Europe, occupying the Georgian townhouses and other buildings in the neighbourhood around this magnificent Chinese arch. All the decorations used on the arch was made in Shanghai. Its opening took place during the celebration of the Chinese New Year in 2000, when it became the largest ceremonial arch outside of mainland China. In nearby streets, which are both English and Chinese nameplates, the Chinese community run many shops, restaurants and facilities. Right, let's move on down Berry Street. You can see the church just in the distance. That's the bombed out church which we started our little tour around. This building here, green, now I can't remember if it was this one or whether it was a bit further along, that white one, where there used to be car showrooms in the 60s. And I remember coming over and seeing one of the very first Japanese Honda cars come over. It was a hell of a lot of plastic in it. I mean, I looked at it and thought, oh, that won't last long. But listen, they've outdone us, haven't they? And they're still blooming going. Most of our car industry seems to have declined. Anyway, let's move back down now towards the bombed out church, which when we do get down there, St. Luke's Church that is, obviously, when we do get down there, that will have completed a full circle we've actually done. Back now to the church. Right, when we get up to the church, we're going to turn left and go back down Bowl Street towards Central Station for me to get the train home. And on the way down there, I'm going to hope to bump into Bethan, because she'll be in all the charity shops down there. This can be one busy street, and more so even of an evening, because just down here on the left-hand side is a place called Concert Square, where there's a lot of clubs where a lot of the young ones go. They're out all night to all hours in the morning. I would have been myself years ago, but not now, unfortunately. Anyway, as I say, on the way down here, I'm going to be looking for Bethan. But this, as I say, was one, well, it still is a bit of busy area, because I used to walk up and down here in the 60s when I used to work for the post office as a telegram boy delivering telegrams. So I'd be constantly up and down this road. Anyway, let's see if we can see Bethan. Anyway, you'll see a building on the right on the corner in a minute. We were quite often in there. My mother would always go in there on the way home from work when she was working in the rag trade, where I was just showing you before. And this particular building, as you can see it on the corner, was called King Kong's. And it was a big Chinese shop them days. And, you know, you get, everything was dirt cheap. And my mother would get what she wanted. Carry on walking down, get to Central Station and get home. Right, let us carry on down Bowl Street ourselves now and see if I can find Bethan. Oh, there she is, just on the right, waiting for me. I bet she'll give me such a look when I get down there. Hope she's finishing these charity shops. Let's see. No, she's very quiet, that's good. Right, that's the end of our little tour of the church and our little walk around Liverpool. So come on, let's get home. Get on the train, get to the air station the other side, pick the car up and be home in 2 minutes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little video of our little tour around Liverpool. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. See you soon.